So yes, I am suing my former bestie, iDubbbz. And I'll shortly explain why.
So I've managed to get the lawsuit documents between Ethan Klein and iDubbbz. And it really wasn't hard.
Ethan had every right to be angry enough to file a lawsuit. Even if you think he's a rich bully and he's bullying people on the internet, there are certain things you can't say about people.
There have been so many law tubers who have been covering this Ethan Klein iDubbbz story, and none of them got these documents.
Ethan says Ian and Anisa do not uphold an agreement they already signed, resulting in the lawsuit continuing for the time being.
So it looks like everyone on both sides is looking forward to see what this missing piece of information is. So let us know what you think it is in the comments.
All I had to do was spend $25 to the Calgary local court, who gave me a list of documents, and then I had to send that list of documents with another $25, and I got all the documents. So I guess it's just kind of easier to riff on what you think the case would be off of random clips you see online rather than doing the research yourself. So even though I am no lawyer, I do not claim to be a lawyer, I don't really know much law, especially the Canadian legal system. But I saw so much information get spread around this lawsuit. And I was like, I know how to get legal documents. It's not hard. So I just decided, okay, it's now my time and I'm going to try to do it. Welcome to Steven Mindset. Today we're going to go through the Ethan Klein / TED Entertainment lawsuit against Ian Joma and Anisa Joma. Now, before, there's been so much content that's sort of played out in the public sphere when it comes to this story. The lawsuit itself first broke when Ian shared in a live stream that Ethan Klein was suing him.
It is official. I am being sued by Ethan Klein in the courts of Calgary, Alberta, for defamation.
While pretending to be a dragon, Ian shared a statement from Destiny and questioned its validity.
I mean, it's like the only fucking content they have over there, right? Like, that podcast is full of talentless hacks.
Because of that, and because Canadian defamation law is way different than United States law, Ethan Klein was able to sue iDubbbz using what I've been able to see is one of the more expensive and largest law firms in the entire world.
Ian has deeply aligned himself with the snark community that I think that people should be held accountable for saying stuff like that. And there should be recourse. There should be accountability. And that's basically what my goal is in this.
And the whole lawsuit seems to frame itself on the idea of snark. On or about February 20th, 2026, Ian Joma displayed an image that another content creator with the online persona Destiny and said Mr. Klein was a pedophile in a video that Ian Joma posted online. In the same video, Mr. Joma stated that. A whole bunch of stuff. So basically, Ethan in this lawsuit claims that he got a massive amount of damages, and actually that he lost a sponsorship over this claim. He claims that the subscriber loss and all of the bad things that are happening to his brand are because of this live stream, or at least that's what he alludes to in the lawsuit. It doesn't really make sense because Ethan Klein's reputation was already controversial before this live stream that was watched by a couple hundred people was even online.
iDubbbz said, I am not dropping the lawsuit. And, well, listen, it's a bunch of technical bullshit. It's just we're in negotiating the terms of the settlement still, and that's it. I don't know. It's what it is. You know what I mean? We're negotiating the terms of the it's a meeting about the settlement. That's it. That's all it is. Right? So, whatever. I mean, I tolerate a lot of people saying a lot of things about me, and I have for a long time. It's called accountability, in my opinion. And listen, if I said that about someone else, I would probably just apologize and beg them not to sue me.
I think it's more to do with all of the what I believe to be reckless lawsuits. Don't come after me, H3 fandom. I believe both the iDubbbz side and the Ethan Klein side are kind of iffy in this story. I don't think he could have sued him the way he sued him here in the United States. I think it had to be in Canada. Also, a big part of this lawsuit is the Reddit and the idea of snark.
And I know we have a really good case in Canada, and their lawyer told them that. If he had issued this type of apology, like, I don't know, months ago, I would have thought it was sincere. But to do it like right after you get a cease and desist, how can I, like, I'm not even being this to be like snarky. I'm being like, how am I actually supposed to think it's sincere? And to me, that's unacceptable. And it's personal. And I'm just following through on my promises.
Ethan brings up Reddit and snark constantly over and over. And it's even part of the settlement that eventually is the reason that the whole thing kind of falls apart. So, in general, Ethan Klein is suing for $1 million in damages over this, which is like, the live stream was viewed by a couple hundred people and iDubbbz was a dragon. iDubbbz is not a successful live streamer. He's not popular right now. So the idea of kind of blaming him for all of this stuff just makes no sense to me. So basically what happens is the lawsuit gets filed and sent, and Ian puts out an apology.
It's very clear that it was never the right thing to do. It was a comment about Ethan and his children, and it was disgusting. I said at the time in the stream that I don't agree with it, but still sharing it and broadcasting it to people for 40 minutes, that was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do.
Ethan writes in the comments of the apology saying that, okay, I'm going to drop the case. But that isn't exactly what Ethan Klein wanted. From these documents, it was clear that Ethan didn't just want to drop the case, he wanted to get a settlement out of it. And he wanted iDubbbz to have to follow a few key things. And in these documents, we have the settlement that they tried to do. Ethan's and Ian's lawyers are talking. And Ethan's lawyers are like, here are the deeds of the settlement. And Ian's lawyers are like, okay, we can do that. There's an apology in here that we don't really want to have the specifics of, but we do feel like we can do this. So here is it signed. And they both agree that it's signed and we're good. But the statement that Ian did wasn't good enough for Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein wanted a condemnation of snark and the snark subreddits. Now, I have been on the record, and I personally believe, you may disagree, that Ethan and his community use snark as an excuse to move away from criticism. Like snarking talking points, and this idea that snark is the end of all evil, and that they attack their kids, and that everything is going on. It's always snark's fault. So Ethan using snark as like this cover and putting Ian in that snarking community feels like, to me, it's not in the legal documents, this is just me as a journalist, as a way to kind of legitimize snark as a concept. To believe that, yes, snarking is real. Here, Ian's behind it. Ian talked about it. In the same way in that Casey-tron settlement, they bring up like Hassan and Asmongold, just because like it's a way to kind of legitimize the talking points against Ethan Klein. It just all kind of feels weird.
The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the Kleins. I also want to acknowledge the pervasive problem of anti-Semitism in leftist spaces. It should concern all of us. I condemn it and will not participate in it.
So the reason this lawsuit is kind of holding up is that Ian is refusing to condemn snark. In this story in general, you know, all of this could have happened. And as far as I can see, there is no reason Ethan Klein couldn't have just dropped the lawsuit. He could have at any time just said like, okay, we're done. But he wanted a settlement out of it. He wanted something out of doing all of this.
I don't want to sue you, right? I don't want to do all this shit, but at the end of the day, I have made a commitment, and I am the ultimate hater. I look bad, and I'm okay with that, because for me, it's personal, and that's it. That's all it is, you know, and it has been since that moment.
I think there's this like whole community of legal tubers who have kind of popped up and love to talk about the law when it, you know, has to deal with YouTubers, and they never like actually follow through with anything. None of these people found these court documents. It was not hard. And I'm now turning it into a YouTube video because I think it's important. And like, I want to cover YouTube in the way that no one's really doing, like a journalist, a quirky journalist, but a journalist nonetheless. I want to kind of change the field. And I would love if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm thinking of dumping all of these lawsuits as a membership perk. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd want. There's a lot of stuff in here, and there's a lot I didn't even go through. This is Stephen A. Sarch Talks. Bye.
How did you come to this, man?